joining me in the studio today are Will and Russ from S.W.E.A.T. They're just not a clothing brand, which if you look on their website, it looks like that, but they're a lot more than that. They've built this movement around mental health and men's mental health, encouraging men to open up, support each other and break the stigma around talking about struggles. Their message is very powerful. It's silent men break the loudest. We're going to talk to them about where this idea came from, why so many men struggle in silence, and how they're building a community around honesty, conversation and support. Will, Russ, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
So to crack straight through S.W.E.T, what does it stand for?
S.W.E.T stands for Speak with Emotion and Trust.
And you've done this together. How did it all start? Where did the journey begin?
Well, me and Russ, how long have we known each other now?
20 years, more than 20 years.
So, and we've been through it. Like where we're from, South East London, we've seen a lot of things. We've witnessed a lot of things. We've lost some good friends along the way to addiction and, well, suicide as well. And I think it started off with a WhatsApp group we started. I think it was just an idea, wasn't it? I spent a bit of time, a few good years in recovery myself because I was quite bad and I had quite a big addiction at the time, which I'm not afraid to talk about. And there was things that I picked up along the way. And one of them was getting the lads to talk about like gratitude lists to start the day, that kind of thing. And we literally started with a WhatsApp group.
So actually, let me just take you back. What's a gratitude list?
A gratitude list, Russ, do you know?
It's a way of reframing your mindset.
Okay.
So rather than focusing on the things that are negative in your life, start trying to focus on the positive things you've got. So that you look at, I've got a roof over my head, I've got clothes on my back, I've woke up this morning breathing, got air in my lungs. Focusing on the things that you're grateful for takes the attention away from the negatives, and they don't seem. If you do it consistently, gratitude is a very powerful thing. If you start your day with a gratitude list, I find it's a good way to reframe your mindset for the rest of the day, and then it's consistency. For us, that's how it's something that I learned from Will. Is making sure that you are grateful for seeing the things in front of you and being grateful for them. It allows you to stop focusing on things that you can't necessarily change. One of them, as you say, one of them things you can always look at the negatives, but can you change a lot of these negatives, or can you change your mindset around how you view the negatives?
It's that kind of.
It's very powerful, very powerful,
and it does really work, but it's consistency, and you've got to really nail it out every morning. Like so. It could be 5 things, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It could be,
do you write it down, or do you actually physically write it down so you've got it on a piece of paper?
Or type it on your phone.
Okay.
But 5 to 10 things, I'll try and do 10. Like,
I always try to do 10.
You try for even...
Every day? You're consistent?
Every day,
Every day.
And that's what the WhatsApp group's about, really, because we're getting people that are in that isolation and they're in that negative mind space, and they're sort of... It's that attitude, isn't it? It's like you can sit there and moan, oh, I've got to go to work today.
Yes.
Or you can say, do you know what? I get to go to work today. I get to get that money. I get to earn this. I have the energy to do that. And that's what we're trying to push for the lads, because we're finding now that seems to be the biggest problem, because they're stuck in that bubble, that isolation, where they feel like the world's against them. They've got everything they've got to carry on their backs. And really, when you actually deep it, you've got a lot more going for you than you realise, and that's what we're trying to bring that out of people.
So you mentioned that you started this initially as a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And when was that?
Oh.
that was synchronised, boys.
I want to say that was mid 2023, early 2023.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. So was that just your friends and local people that you created this WhatsApp group?
It was just a few people, and then it sort of just took off, and then loads of people could see what we was trying to do within this WhatsApp group, because there's loads of WhatsApp groups out there and there's loads of different types of things, but what we're doing, we don't look at it like a WhatsApp group. We look at that like that's a community, and everybody looks out for each other.
Because it is a community, and people won't just share their problems in that group, they'll share their wins. And that's something that we try and encourage as well.
That's we've only just started talking about this, and that's one of the things that's just come about to me straight away, that you're focusing on the gratitude, the wins, the positivity, because we do take things for granted.
Yeah.
we wake up and things can look bleak and bad, but we do. Is that human nature? Do you think?
I think so, yeah. And I think it's the way of the world as well. To be fair,
it is very So what do you think?
I think there's so much negativity in everyday life as it is.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to not be affected by it and not let it bleed into your psyche.
Yeah.
So to start your day with a gratitude list, or sometimes you're not feeling doing a gratitude list, but other people start putting them in the WhatsApp group and you feel compelled to. It's kind of like peer pressure.
Okay, so it's positive peer pressure.
Yeah, and it gives you a kick up the backside.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, I haven't done mine today, then I'll see someone else post it, I'm like, I've got to do mine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And also, it's not just because you try not to do the same things. Like what it does, it teaches you to try and recognise other things that you should be grateful for, not just the same sort of things. I woke up this morning with air in my lungs. I look at it and I'm like, I've got a really big meeting this week. I'm really excited that I get to do that meeting. That I've put myself in a position that I do that. It's not a normal way of thinking because some people might be dreading that meeting and nervous about it or whatever the weather, and you just reframe your mindset around it, and then you think, oh, actually, no, I've got that to be grateful for. I've got that to be grateful for, and before you know it, your list has been created, and you put it out there and you read it back, and you're just like, yeah. For me, it works. It works. Gratitude is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I can only imagine that people that are putting their list in the group, they're also looking at other people's lists and going, well, I didn't think of that, but I agree with that, right? And then you sort of seek, you sort of seek affirmation, or you might see some inspiration in someone else going, well, I've done this and I think this is really positive.
Yeah.
And you might take that for granted, right? So
it's a very, very active WhatsApp group, but also at the same time, there's people in that WhatsApp group that have been in it for years that don't speak, they don't engage, but they're watching. And and that's, when we set out making S.W.E.A.T, it wasn't about followers, it wasn't about any of that egotistical stuff that comes along with social media.
Yep.
We just thought to ourselves, if we can help one person, and then now, because of what we're doing, we started off with the WhatsApp group, which was how it started, and then from the back of that, it sort of went into podcasts, and we started doing podcasts. From the back of a podcast, now, because we're getting to a stage where we're getting a lot more following, so we've started doing the fundraising and the walks, and now we are almost at charity status.
Well, yeah, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the documentation to come back to us. We've all signed it. So once we're a registered charity, it should open a few more doors in terms of what we can do in giving back and who we may be able to partner with in future.
So you've come a long way from creating this WhatsApp group in 3 years ago, let's say. And was this always your vision?
No,
we didn't have a vision.
Right, okay.
It's morphed and transformed into something that both of us never saw, but we've seen a bit more of the vision as something else has materialised, and it's kind of now we're starting to be a bit more visionary with it, and we're starting to see about where we could go and what we could do. The main thing for us is awareness. We want to get as much awareness out as possible.
That's you breaking the chair?
Yeah, I think so.
But I mean, at the end of the day, all we wanted to do was to set out and help people. We've got a deep passion for helping the lads, because obviously seeing what we've seen growing up and being around that kind of lifestyle where people did do a lot of alcohol and people did do a lot of drugs, and seeing where that took them. So now we think, right, there's help out there for people, but there's always room for more help, isn't there?
Is it part of escapism? Is that what it is?
100%.
Yeah.
Escapism is huge. A lot of people refer. I mean, even in my time, a lot of it was escapism.
And you sort of bury your head in the sand, so to speak, and it will go away and whatever.
And it's coping mechanisms for the things that, unfortunately, the stresses and stuff of life. It becomes your go-to coping mechanism. Before you know it, there's
reliability.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That.
We just need people to open up. We've got a saying, haven't we, at S.W.E.A.T, venting is preventing.
Venting is preventing.
Oh, that's really good.
And that's what we try.
Venting is preventing.
Yeah. You need to vent. Like, everyone needs to vent.
That's
everyone
phenomenal.
needs to talk.
But the other strap line you put in your phrase is "silent men break the loudest."
Yep.
And that's another thing you say, and you make a big point of that, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of becomes
our slogan.
Symbolic now. That's what we've got that on the back of the jackets. We've got that on and that's what we want people to see, because that makes a statement.
It's a statement being made because someone might not necessarily always approach you to discuss what you're doing. But if they see that, it's been a big conversation start for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's why we started doing the merchandise, because a lot of people were asking us, where can we get hoodies, where can we get
Well, I was going to
t-shirts?
say, yeah. So you've started, because I was on your website, and you've started merchandise and people buying your branded stuff. So you've started doing that. I'm assuming that's to get more awareness. Not commercial
and
aspect.
It's non-profitable, so all the money that comes from the hoodies and the t-shirt is going straight back into the pot, which is then we're using that money to further fundraise. So that pays for flyers, that pays for gazebos that we're going to have in the festivals.
You know, we just had a gazebo and stuff printed, like a full kit out, so that we can go to these events and have the branding and the awareness around what we're doing, rather than turning up with the setup we did have. We've kind of like a paper tablecloth with like a QR code stuck to it.
Yeah, that's how we started.
Listen, everyone has to start somewhere, but it's where you take it. So, in your opinion, you know, men struggle to talk. Why?
100%.
Why?
I think it's a bravado thing. I think you want an image that you're not vulnerable, but we all are. We've all got our vulnerabilities, whether that's whether that's something that you show or how you feel about yourself. But the vulnerability is in every single one of us. It's just how we vent that vulnerability ultimately. And
are you noticing? Because it is a bit of a stigmatism, right? Because you know the average bloke is supposed to be the hunter-gatherer, he's the provider, you know, the family look up to him, he goes out and earns the bread, and, you know, he's rock solid, right? You know, and until he's not rock solid. And do you think, I mean, obviously you're very close to this, are men getting better at opening up?
I think so.
100%.
Slowly?
Yeah, definitely. And the WhatsApp group, that's, the more spaces that we have, like the WhatsApp group, the more awareness that we spread out on the street and talking to people, if someone hasn't got that breathing space where they can vent to anyone, because a lot of blokes do carry this on their shoulders. They like it's ingrained in them. It's like, you big boys don't cry, right? Do you know what I mean? Like you wipe your tears and you crack on, you pull your socks up, and that's the mentality that we all had growing up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And because of that, and that's sadly now why the suicide rate is at an all-time high. Because of that reason, because they're not talking about stuff. And
you get to that boiling point, and that's why our slogan "Silent Men Break the Loudest" is kind of that's where that came from.
Do you find that a lot of men hide behind humour? Sort of as a distraction.
Yeah,
that was always my thing.
That was it.
Yeah, I would always try and be as funny as possible in like group settings, just to hold a mask up in front of myself of who I truly felt like I was, or you know how I saw myself. So I'd try and portray an image, and that'd usually be trying to be the funny person. Although I'm not that funny, so you can imagine how.
But it's another self-coping mechanism, but not particularly a good one at the best of times, right? Because you're just evading the problem.
You know, when you hear about people, I mean, you might hear or you might see somebody's, somebody's done the worst, and you'll see like, oh, he was always so happy, he was always trying to be the life of the party and stuff. It's because they're overcompensating for so much going on, you know, the demons that they're fighting and stuff. And that's what we just try and do is provide an opportunity, or at least that olive branch for people to be able to go, look, listen lads, I'm going through this at the moment. And a lot of that, our WhatsApp group is that. How many people will reach out and just bare all, and we're like, mate, you know what? Well done for just opening up.
Congratulate them for saying it as well.
Because
it takes a lot. Go on, mate. It takes serious.
It's support, isn't it, within a community? And I think more importantly, in a safe environment. You don't feel like a bit
judged.
Of a
bit of an idiot.
And we practice what we preach as well, don't we? Like I had a vent in there yesterday. I had a bit of a head wobble at work, and I thought, you know what? This is what we're preaching for.
Yeah, you're not infallible, are you? You go through it as well, don't you?
Right? So honestly, when you get it out and you speak about it, and then people comment back, and then you get advice from different people, and it's brilliant. It's amazing. It's
the weight lifted off your shoulders, even if you don't get the advice you were maybe looking for. If there isn't really much advice that can better the situation, at least you've got it out there, and it's a weight off your shoulders.
So for people listening and they've got friends, you know, what would you say is one of the warning signs of someone potentially struggling silently? What would you say? Is that what it is?
I personally think silence, not being engaged in conversations, just literally just sort of autopilot.
I also think it's people that try to bury themselves into something too much. So if somebody's
be busy or
just
available or
blocks out
unavailable.
the noise that comes in the quiet period. So somebody that's always trying to be busy, somebody that's always on the go, or check in with them.
And when you look at from your personal experiences and what you've done and what you've created, which is phenomenal, what if you think you've got a friend or someone that you know might be struggling, what would you suggest? Because it can be quite intrusive, right?
Yeah.
And people might not open up. So what would you say is a good way to check in? What's the right way to do it?
Well, to be honest with you, we've got kind of another few olive branches now that we offer people as well. So we do run clubs on a Sunday.
Okay.
So I've got to shout out S.W.E.A.T as well, because he's a massive advocate, and he bleeds blue and yellow. Matt does. So he does a big run club on a Sunday in South London, and so I run a run club. We're also doing mixed walks now on a Sunday for men and women to sort of break that stigma. So that's another olive branch that you can offer someone. Say, look, if you
turn up,
just come out, have a chat, have a walk and talk,
and just get it out there.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you mentioned social media. So how much has that helped your cause and your messaging?
It's been really big. It was quite slow. I mean, to be honest, Will is more the face on the social media side of stuff. I'm kind of the grey sludge under the collar. You're the pretty face in front of the screen. But you're consistent with videos and you always put stuff out there. But I think one of the turning points for us to really gain a lot of traction was when you happened to just bump into Jim Skin, the streamer.
Yeah.
Oh, you bumped into him?
It was crazy.
He was live streaming and Giz or Will, but like had it in
Literally
it to go over and
bumped into
stop
him.
him and talk about it. And he said, "Look, I've got a men's mental health movement. It's we'll speak with emotion and trust."
He gave me his mic.
Gave me the mic, and
next day, boom, we had like 2,000 followers.
Wow.
We gained quite a few in that period of time.
Got a few people in the WhatsApp group because obviously people from TikTok were seeing it,
Yeah.
jumping in saying, "This is brilliant. Where can I sign up?" So then I was sending them links, and that's again, more people that can jump on and what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So it has played a vital part, social media,
massive,
in what you're doing. And it isn't easy just to, you've got to keep on it, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Guys, you used clothing, you've used fashion, you bought clothing out, and what was the motivation to do that? Why clothing?
Well, we started with our own hoodies. We had them made up for ourselves, just to kind of push the branding, I suppose you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it just came off the back of so many people asking us where they could get t-shirts and hoodies from, and it just made sense from a perspective where we're trying to fundraise and we're doing all these events. Why not just add another line to the fundraising, create a website? It wasn't originally done from a website. It was originally done from a word of mouth, and we were turning up with boxes of t-shirts for people and hoodies. But now it's through the website, and it just came from that. To be honest, it's just a request from people, and
what we're finding now is obviously with the message that we've got, silent men break the loudest. We know firsthand now that this message is stopping people in the street. People are coming over and saying, and it's striking those conversations that are needed, and it's because of the message, silent men break the loudest, and so people that don't know how to address the situation, don't know how to talk about it, bang, it's in your face, it's on your back, and that's what we're trying to push out there.
So that was one of my questions, and clearly it's helped start conversations. The clothing has helped start. Forget social media for a minute. Forget everything else. That has started conversations.
Yeah, I've had people stop me when I'm wearing a hoodie and ask, what it's about initially. And it's just a good conversation starter.
So that's brilliant. So, guys, what is the most emotional or memorable feedback you've received from doing what you're doing? I did say I wasn't going to put you under pressure, but there we go.
We've had quite a few.
Okay.
It will definitely be one through the WhatsApp group. And I think I'm going to give a shout to, you could probably say somebody else, but I'm going to give a shout to James G in the group.
Yeah.
He's come leaps and bounds in everything that he's doing. He said he was doing, before he joined the group, there wasn't much that he would really put himself out there to do. Okay. And he's an amateur DJ. He's trying to get himself kind of a few bookings and stuff like that on, I think, drum bass DJ. And he said, just being in the group and it's allowed him to open up a lot more feel more confident and actually he got himself a couple of bookings
Okay,
for
it's good.
Wicked
for events
DJ as well.
yeah, he's really good.
Wicked DJ.
And you know, just to have that confidence in himself and his abilities, he said he would never have been able to do that without jumping in the group. And that's just one of the examples I can think of off the top of my head now. You might have a different one.
I mean, even today, looking at the group today, there was a lad in the group, and he's putting himself through mental health training, and he just said purely because of this group. That's what he said. I'm putting myself through this training, which I wouldn't have done before, because I can see now that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So now he's putting himself. I've got to shout out Michael as well. Michael's come leaps and bounds. Michael's come from a very dark place. I won't go too much into.
Yeah, fair.
Drive time. But he's come along leaps and bounds, and now he's a massive advocate. We have him at the walks, and we handed out the flyers with us.
He's an amazing person as well.
Yeah,
like he's just a great person through and through. And to see his character, the way it is now, knowing what he was like before, it's just
What surprised you the most since you've launched this? What surprised you?
I didn't realise the amount of support that we'd actually get doing this.
There was clearly a need for it.
Yeah.
That's clear as day, right?
There is a need for it, and I think even what we're doing is just a drop in the bucket against what is needed. But there is so many other initiatives out there and groups that are doing the same thing we are, and the more the better, as far as I'm concerned.
And we're with it, and with us as well. We want to work with anybody that's involved in walks, anybody that's involved in fundraising, anything that's for men's mental health. We will work with you. This is what it's about. It's about everyone working together to make a difference.
And you mentioned you're applying to be a charitable status, and you're doing it. So what is the longer term plan?
What should we talk about? The meetings we've got setting up.
Yeah, so we are. So the start of that longer term plan, and it does start here with some walk-in or drop-in centres that we're setting up. So we've got one place in Bishop Stortford that we're just finalising. We've got one in Bexley that we're doing.
And possibly one in Chichester as well.
So explain to me what this means, a drop-in centre. Explain to me what that does.
So it's a space where we're going to have a few nights a week for like from 6 till 9 p.m, that sort of time frame, where people are going to be able to drop in and just have a conversation. It's kind of like, I suppose, like the meetings that you get through, like sobriety meetings and things like that.
Just to come in, have a coffee and just a chat.
We might have someone doing a talk about how they've turned their life around, to inspire others, like sort of just because there isn't. I wouldn't want to call them like a social club, but I suppose in a way it would be sort of like a social.
It's a way for people to put themselves out there, be sociable with other people. That you're all there because of you're all looking to better your situation in one way, shape, or form. Whether that's from putting yourself out there, being better with your mental health, or if you are on the road to recovery, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just a way to know that, okay, there's a place where you can meet like-minded people.
Yeah, and it'll be consistent as well. So just say, I don't know, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So it'll be like they know that every Wednesday at 7 o'clock at that place, there'll be a space that they can come and have a coffee and just get away from the noise.
Another thing we'd want to do is try and partner up with some NHS trusts and try to better what is on offer for mental health, I suppose, care.
Yeah.
I've been through the system in that, and I think there's so many holes in that system, and I'm not going to talk down. I mean, I'm not going to talk down about it, but there could be so many improvements made, and maybe we could potentially be a part of that. That would be a great thing for us as well. So
fast forward, what's success like for you both in 5 years?
Can I answer this?
Of course.
Success in 5 years, gents.
No, I mean 5 years. Success in 5 years to have a number of these drop-in centres working. We would like to also have kind of like the Samaritans, like a 24-hour phone line that people can call up.
But instead of an automated robot at the other end of the phone, you're going to have a normal bloke who you can have a chinwag with. Yeah,
like just to have that chat. But ultimately, the ultimate goal for this is so that we as an entity aren't going to be needed as much. Yeah. That's what we really
You're trying to build a bigger community around supporting everybody.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Because a beautiful place would be a place where we're not needed.
Yeah, the mental health support stuff isn't needed because of it doesn't exist, but
It does.
it does at the moment.
And I don't think it's going away.
No,
I think it's I think what you guys are doing, and it's very topical because I went to see a mental health charity yesterday, and I think it's topical because I think not just for men and young people, because it's affecting everybody, right, in some form or fashion. And I think with men especially, and the stigmatism and around it, and sometimes you don't realise you're suffering. You know, in 2019, I had a big change in my life, and you do have a change.
Yeah.
And it does affect you, and it's only when you look back, sometimes, if you're fortunate enough to get out of it, you realise. Right, I want to ask you some quick questions, and we're going to sort of rattle through these. So, Russ, one word that describes modern life for men.
Varied.
Okay. Will, best way to clear your head?
A walk.
Okay, Russ, morning gym or late night drive?
Morning gym.
Okay. One thing that men should talk about more?
We had this discussion earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
I can't remember what we said now.
It's supposed to be a quick fire round.
Yeah. Quick fire, Giz.
More.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, jump in, chime in.
I'm going to answer for him then
Go
on it. We did have this conversation just about telling your close friends
Yeah.
that you love them, genuinely that you love them, showing love to your friends without it, coming across funny.
Podcast or music?
Nowadays, podcast.
Yeah.
And my last question, which I want an answer for both of you.
Yeah.
One thing that makes a good mate?
Being there.
100%.
That's it?
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah.
Just showing up when needed.
Right, now, final question. If there's a man listening right now who feels a bit overwhelmed, but hasn't told anyone, what would you say directly to him?
You are not alone by any means. You are not alone.
It's very powerful, gents. Very powerful. Look, I want to say a massive thank you to Will and Russ, S.W.E.A.T, Speak Without Emotion and Trust, for joining me today. It's a very important conversation. It's a brilliant message, and everything you're doing, I congratulate you both.
Thank you both.
And not only that, I wish you all the best, and you go from strength to strength. We're going to play some music. We're going to be around. I've got Lynn coming in, and she's going to join us, and we're going to talk a bit more. But phenomenal, guys. Absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much for having us.
Now, before I put the track on, walks. You're doing a 10-mile walk. Tell us about that.
Right, we've got the big Camden 10.
Okay.
So that's at 10 a.m. and
Yep.
that's on the 10th of
July.
And basically what we're doing, it's a 10-mile walk around Camden.
Yep.
It's a mixed walk, male and female, because we're trying to break that stigma.
It's not just around Camden. It starts in
I was
Camden
going to say,
and ends in Camden.
I was going to say it's a long walk around Camden.
It'd be a lot of loops
loops.
around Camden.
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you that. No, it starts at Camden, ends at Camden. It's going to be 10 miles around London. Last one we did was the Chinatown Challenge. We did 8.6 miles. We got a lot of noise around that. Men and women, welcome.
Well.
So 10-mile walk, Camden,
Yep.
10th of July.
Yep.
How do I get involved if I wanted to get? If listeners want to get involved, how do
You
they do it?
can
Jump on the Instagram, which is S.W.E.A.T_group, and just drop us a DM. And what we like to do, we'll make you up a little profile picture and get yourself some sponsorship. Anyone can get involved.
Okay.
Yes, literally anyone can get involved with this.
anyone's welcome. We've got quite a few different groups collaborating with us on this one as well, so there should be a good number. It's going to be really looking forward to this one.
Fantastic. Now, and lastly, if people want more information, you said S.W.E.A.T.group is your Instagram,
Yes,
but your
S.W.E.A.T_group.
S.W.E.A.T_group is your Instagram. Website
is www.sweat-shop.co.uk, but we have a link tree that is on our Instagram, so you're better off hitting the link tree and it shows our podcasts, the WhatsApp group. It's got a direct link to that, so if you wanted to join the WhatsApp group, you can, and it takes you through to it takes you through to everything that we've got going on. So the link tree is the best way.
And one thing I want to just reiterate: this is something you're doing for free.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
This is you're giving your heart and soul,
Yeah.
and your time and your energy for. It's phenomenal, guys. Well done. And when I said I've got a full house, I meant I've got a full house now. Lynn, you're no stranger to coming on the radio. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Not bad. Do you want to give the listeners a bit of an intro of who you are, what you do?
Okay, well, I'll try and keep this short.
We've got an hour, so yeah.
We'll all be asleep by the end of it, I'm sure. Well, my name's Lynn Crilly. I like to think that I'm a mental health advocate. I'm an author and a film producer, and I also work with people and their families, mainly young kids with mental health issues.
Fantastic. And your relationship with Russ and Will, how did you guys meet? Where did it all start?
Okay, well, I've got quite a large, not large, but for me, a fairly large Instagram following, and I'm always looking for new people. I think there's a lot of charities, organisations, individuals out there doing lots of really good work that perhaps don't get the airplay that they deserve, because the bigger charities and the bigger names are always the ones that get more airplay than the smaller ones. And I saw that the boys were doing a walk with Robert Hyseas and Tom Skinner, who do a walk every Sunday, I think it is.
Did you get involved in that as well, guys? Or was that a one-off? Or
It's happening again this Sunday.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. To be fair, we know Robert quite well. Robert, he was the first person on the podcast that we did. He was like, wasn't he?
He was our first guest, yeah.
He saw something in us when we didn't practically have anything, and then he sort of saw it. He sort of put his arm around us, didn't he, and said, like, I'll jump on your first podcast. But we wasn't actually at that walk. I think what Lynn saw, she just saw the blue and yellow. Like with
Going back to the clothing and the branding,
because everyone was wearing the hoodies on that walk, and
right.
it's a sea of blue and yellow.
So it worked then, Lynn?
It certainly did, but I admire what Robert and Tom are doing, and they've done
brilliant.
it every single Sunday since January. They've turned up, come rain, sun, snow, every Sunday. They haven't just done it as a publicity stunt, they've done it for real. And every week, more and more men seem to be joining. And I think that's what drew me to the boys and what they're trying to do around London.
Yeah.
And I admire that. And they've got sort of like a scaffolding background, and obviously I run a scaffold company myself, so I know what they're trying to achieve, and I admire them for it.
So with everything you do,
yes,
do you have any days off?
not really. No. I quite like one.
I'm sure you
I
do.
quite like two, actually.
So this month, why is it so important? What's going on? Because a lot of news, a lot of noise.
There's quite a lot going on in June, actually, but I think the main one is that June is well known for being Men's Health Month, both physical and mental.
Yeah.
And obviously they run side by side. Without a good mental health, you haven't got physical health. Without physical health, you obviously haven't got good mental health. And I think it's about, I think every month we should be championing our men to go and encourage them to go and get tests, talk to people, and be the best version that they can be. But
Amen.
June obviously highlights that. And it encourages, I suppose, people talk about it more. But also this month is, which I'm quite passionate about as well, is Loneliness Month. There's a Loneliness Week. I think it's the third week in June. Sorry. And I think there's a lot of lonely people out there, including men. So I think it's about just highlighting and shining a light and encouraging people that it's okay. But also there are so many smaller organisations like the boys out there that are doing really good work in every field. And I think that that's what this month should be about, is pinpointing and signposting people to the right people that can help them.
I agree with you. I think there's not enough spotlight on certain individuals and people and groups that are doing great work out there in the community and helping people. And like we spoke earlier, you're doing this out of the kindness of your own heart.
Yeah.
From your own experiences, helping people. And me and Lynn have spoken, and my motivation is help one person. If I can help one person by doing something I've done, I've won.
That's it.
100%.
That's all it takes. It's just one person.
That was our motto.
That was our motto from the beginning. If it helps one person, everything behind the scenes worthwhile.
Yeah, and I think that's the crucial thing. And again, one thing I want to do, and we briefly spoke, is that it's not just about June, because June will come and go, right? But these problems don't just come and go.
Yeah.
And they need to be highlighted on a more regular basis.
Okay.
And we need to make sure people that have these concerns or have these problems, we continually be that support network. I'm a big advocate of, shining the light and sharing information, and also showing people and what they're doing.
Yeah.
What you guys have done and what you've created is phenomenal. and it's a movement that you need to, progress and carry on doing.
Thank you.
And there's a lot to do out there. So what else is going on, Lynn? What else are you working on? I know you've done movies and books and all sorts.
I think, well, we started this new, it's very new, on the lines of it being, and the guys actually encouraged me to do it without realising. So we've got this new thing called Tea with Lynn Crilly. So I've had these mugs made because I love a cup of tea.
And it's a lovely mug.
It's a wonderful mug.
Is it?
Very, very.
It's a make or break in a cup of tea, in my opinion. It's just, you've got to have a good mug.
Of course. But it's more highlighting. So I put something out, and this is for anyone that's listening that wants to contact us or contact me or my team. But it's shining a light on the smaller people that are helping people, which is what I asked the boys to do if they wanted to come on.
Yep.
And it's just literally a Zoom call, about 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever you want it to be, 10 minutes of filming time. And it's telling us about the good work that you do. And at the moment, that's what I'm really passionate about.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're doing a walk, and this is something you're doing in Camden. Did we get the dates right?
No.
We didn't get the dates right. Oh, okay. You had one job. You had one job.
I know. We had one moment. So basically, yeah, it's the big Camden 10. It's at 10 a.m. We're going to meet outside Camden Stables, and it's on the 11th of July.
So it's not the 10th of July.
It's not the 10th.
It's the 11th of
July.
Saturday the 11th.
Yeah, and we've got all different kind of walking. We've got Robert Icy's Mind Soldiers coming down. We've got Sober Scaff. We love you, Sober Scaff. We've got him coming down with all the rest of the scaffolders. We've got the morning walking crew that are from Hatfield coming down as well. So we're going to get some really, really big numbers on there. So yeah, we're going to make a bit of noise. We're going to make a statement on the pavement.
Mate, that's fantastic. So Lynn, you mentioned scaffolding business that you run and that sort of environment. Do you think people of the trade, men of the trade, are the worst to talk, or is it just men full stop?
I think I have to think carefully here. I think it's got easy. It's more acceptable.
Yeah.
But I think particularly in the building game. I mean, I've been in it now for 40 years, and I've seen so much change with the rules and the regs and this, that, and the other. But
Pressure.
Nothing has changed about encouraging men to open up, talk, and there are a lot of issues amongst scaffolders. It takes a certain type of person.
Yeah, I'm the
Excuse
scaffolder.
me, guys,
No,
to be a scaffolder.
Yeah.
And they do. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
And it is
It's a physical,
job.
demanding job.
And
it's the
you're out in
bravado that comes with
Yeah.
it as well. You've got to be a certain way. Like you've got to be tough as nails, in and out, really, to do that job.
But I think in today's world where you've got the internet or the world in your pocket 24/7, there's a lot of pressure for them and all men to be a certain way.
Do you know one thing I really like about what these guys are doing is you've got a WhatsApp community, right? So you're doing it via WhatsApp because people sometimes don't want to talk. Right, and a lot of these young people are very much like that. When I was running my business and I'd go into the team and I go, "Oh, did you speak to so and so?" They go, "Yeah, I sent them a message," and I'm like, "No. Did you pick up the phone and speak to them?" And it's the way of the world, right? People find it more comfortable messaging people. People find it more comfortable messaging on social media because you're in your safe zone.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a lot easier. Do you agree with that? Or?
Yeah, I think also as well, you can, in a message, you can write something and then delete it and then rewrite it. If you're speaking to somebody on the phone, and you can't do that. So I think some people will feel more comfortable being able to articulate their problems or whatever they're going through, and read it and say, actually, I want to write that differently or whatever. I think that's a big part of it as well.
We've had people in the WhatsApp group that have sat there and just watched and not said nothing, and then they start seeing what we're doing. When we spoke about the gratitude list earlier, so then they'll start doing gratitude lists, being a bit more vocal, and the next thing you know, they're out on a Sunday running with us.
So all of you around the table are all helping people or all involved in one form or fashion. How much effect did lockdown actually have in where people's minds are today, in your opinion?
Some people really enjoyed lockdown and they loved every second of it. I think lockdown created the new pandemic of mental ill health. for many, if not most. I think the small majority loved being at home.
Yep.
I think particularly for the younger kids, for the younger generation, they were in their bedrooms, on their phones,
Yep.
on their the gaming and all of that, which I think exacerbated like eating disorders. We were all encouraged to do 10,000 steps, go walking. For those that have an addictive nature, that then went into more of a obsessive exercise. And I think also a lot of people lost the art to talk to humans. We're encouraged to be 3 meters apart from each other all the time. People lost human connection.
They did.
Yeah.
And that is so important. And I think what saddens me is that a lot of the younger generation that are growing up don't know how to talk to people.
You do notice that they bury their head in the phone. You do notice it. But did you guys notice a big difference in your world and what you're doing?
It's like obviously it's drive times. We've got to be careful what we say. But addiction was at an all-time high during. I think the two people that benefited from COVID, I think it was Tesco's and I think it was drug dealers. To be honest with you, I think 'cause it was just.
Do you think it was that bad?
It was rife.
I think as well. You had two different types of people. Some people took their fitness seriously. They used it as an opportunity to, start doing garden workouts or whatever. And then you had the other people that would lock themselves away and just do whatever they were going to do. But I think that was the two types of people.
A lot of people need routine. A lot of people need structure. So, which is a very sad thing to say, but people need to get up and they need to set their alarms. They need to go to work. The people that need that, they're the ones who struggle to to fall back into that.
Or the people that weren't able to move that routine to something else, like, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go do 45 minutes of working out, and I'm going to make breakfast, and I'm going to go for a walk, and structuring their day like they would as if it was a normal work day, but just differently because now they're in lockdown, they're locked indoors. I think the people that weren't able to do that, that need to thrive on that routine, they're the ones that really suffered from it.
But also, I think I just got in here.
Yeah.
Also, I think the older generation. I think the younger generation and the older generation, I mean, I saw my mum and dad age in that time.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't go out. They were afraid to go out.
Yeah.
My mum sort of stopped swimming. My mum used to go swimming every morning. And a lot of old people were on their own.
Yeah,
and they were on their own.
They needed to be active.
They needed to go to their clubs. They needed to be with other people.
But also,
that human connection.
It's the way of the world as well. It's like I don't know if they've done it yet, or they might have done it when they took cashiers away from banks and it all become digital.
Yeah.
So it might be beneficial in a
financial sense.
Yeah, but then what about
connection.
Margaret? That was her day out, going to the bank to put some money in. Do you know what I mean? Like you've took that away. You're forcing people into isolation, and I'm afraid to say that is the world that we're living in at the minute. With the phones, with the screens, it's all making you go into self. And that is.
I think one of the things for me personally is exercise. I think it clears my head.
Yeah.
It makes a massive difference, and I think that I'm a big advocate for that because I think it makes a huge difference. And I think even if it's not going to the gym, but what you guys are doing and what you've witnessed is going out walking, getting people. And one of the things that I learned is, and it's really weird because when you think about it, you think really, but when you want to have a chat, sometimes I go for a drive with someone. Because you're not facing them, or if you're walking, you're not facing them.
Side by side.
You're side by side, and it makes psychologically a big difference.
Yeah,
it's a communal activity as well. You're doing. Yeah. So again, it makes it a lot easier to have conversations.
Yeah, and one of the best conversations I've had is with friends in the car, and we end up talking about stuff you wouldn't normally talk about.
Yeah,
and it just happens, right? And people are a bit more open, so to speak. So what's next, Lynn? What are you going to be working on next?
I'm not really sure. I think the door is open on that one.
Is it?
I'm just going to, my grandchildren could start full-time school in September, so I'm going to enjoy the summer with them before they go off to full-time school. But I will keep going, doing what I'm doing.
Fantastic. Right, so also in the studio I have Sam. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Bab. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Amazing. So Sam, do you want to sort of share what you do, who you are, and why you're here?
Yeah, so I'm a poet. My second book, Strength Through Poetry, got published this year, and it's based on mental health. That can be physical, mental, also touches upon society and how society kind of affects our mental health, also our physical health. But I'm also a personal trainer and I specialise in young adults with mental health issues.
So you say this is your second book.
Yeah.
So when did you do your first one?
I did my first one. This was a good few years ago now. But I wrote poetry as a kid. But I got published a few years ago.
And how did that happen? How, you know, you just don't go and get published. It's
Yeah.
not something that just happens overnight,
Yeah.
right? So how did this happen?
So I got in the back door a little bit
Okay.
with mum. But
Right.
so I always wrote poetry as a kid. I dreamt of being published, but it felt so out of reach. But
Yeah.
mum was doing your books, and she said to me, "Would you write a poem about a mother's love?" So I wrote one, and it got put in there. And it started to get picked up quite a bit, and our publisher was quite interested
Okay.
in possibly publishing me and my poems and things like that. So it got picked up by a few charities, and it was slowly, my poetry was slowly kind of getting out there. It was a very natural progression with being in a family of writers
Yeah.
to kind of get a book published, if that makes sense.
So you've done another book,
Yes.
and that's published as well.
Yep.
And how did that go?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a long time coming. I'm very proud of my first one, but I know my second one. The first one was great, but it was a bit rushed. There was a few fillers in there. I was happy with it. This one is smaller,
Yeah.
more intricate, and more poetic. I think the first one was more explanation of mental illness and not. I think I've evolved as a poet in this one. It's more abstract and a lot more, more poetic, I would say.
So you mentioned that you're a personal trainer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that entwine with poetry? What's the connection?
It's a bit random. It kind of doesn't.
It doesn't, does it?
think-
Or does
no.
it? I don't know.
I think that's the magic of it, though.
Okay.
Because people know I'm into fitness and they know I love it. They know it helps my mental health and that I can help other people. And then when I say I'm a poet on the side, it's all a bit random.
Right.
But I've learnt so much from my clients and I've learnt so much from other people in their journeys. It all kind of ravels into my poetry. And even this I Am Man, I've been around so many different creeds of men, whether it's scaffolders. I did a bachelor's in stage and media, so I've met very extroverted, extravagant kind of characters. So I think just living and being within that mental health world, I've been able to connect with so many different people and men to learn about them and write about it, if that makes sense.
And we're going to listen to you read this out. So what's next? What's next, Sam? What are you going to do? You've done your second book, and you're a successful personal trainer. You're helping a multitude of people. So what's next?
I'd love to do a children's book.
Okay.
I'd love to do and
What,
cover
again, poetry or just poetry, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
with most children's books, there's rhymes anyway, but they're very short and they're not that in depth. I'd love to cover different aspects that affect young children, even if it's divorce, whether it's confidence going into school, bullying, all aspects that can kind of be a foundational struggle when
Yeah.
you're older. So I'd love to do that.
And children, I mean, there are struggles out there, and you probably come across it most with a variety of factors that are out there. What's one of the biggest struggles today's young kids face, do you think?
I mean, we've touched upon it before in here. I think social media is a big one.
Yeah.
I think social media, and I mean, I'm 34, so I'm a bit out of it, but I look at the filters and I can't tell the reality of what's reality, and I know reality.
So if you're in charge and you could do anything out there with social media and kids, what would it be? What would you do? What rules would you change?
I would ban filters.
You'd ban
first.
filters?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
ban, especially with the body,
Okay.
especially young women and men. You can do it on video. I look at them and I don't know. I can't, and I get the young clients, and if they don't have social media, they think they're missing out on a world, and that world doesn't exist.
Bit of FOMO as well, right?
Yeah, they get FOMO on something that's not real anyway. They're missing out on something that's not there.
Yeah.
So they're better off out of it. But I would ban filters. If I could, I would ban social media. But I do think there is a positive in what you guys are doing, the S.W.E.A.T gang, on getting navigating it like that, I think it's positive.
If you do it well and if you do it for the right reasons, it's there.
Yeah.
I think the young generation is different. So, you know, you've seen stuff out there now which is on AI.
Yeah.
So how's that going to, you know, where does it stop?
I think it's scary. I think there almost needs to be classes in schools that go into detail of this, and I think the whole school system needs to be revamped, and there needs to be a class on this and knowing what's real and what's not real.
Because some of the stuff I've seen that is AI
Yeah.
is phenomenal. It is really clever
Yeah.
in what they've done.
I saw a giraffe on the side of a mountain, and I was like, how did that giraffe get there? Because it looked so real, and someone was like, this is AI, and I was like, I can't believe I believed that.
But
It's just madness.
Yeah, but we've gone from one stage to another. So we've gone from, you know, filters and people portraying a lifestyle. I mean, a lot of it's to do with lifestyle, right? So a lot of social media and lifestyle out there because, you know, when I was a kid, you know, you'd go and knock on your mate's door and you'd go out, right? And then the next morning you'd find out from your friend that you went out or whatever and whatever, and oh, I missed out. Why don't you come and see me, whatever. Now it's plastered all over social media.
Yeah.
And the pressure's on.
Yeah.
And the pressure to fit in is on.
Massively, yeah. It's hard because you've got old media and you've got new media, and some new media is great, like podcasts.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot from podcasts.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one, but I definitely think AI is the worst one, I think, coming in, like you say.
But podcasts are great, but do you think this young generation have the attention span to listen to a 30, 45-minute podcast? Or, you know?
That's true. I don't know. I think millennials,
Yeah.
Generation Z, is that the one under us? And then there's one under that.
We're the old ones.
We're the old ones. Gen X.
Gen
I
X.
don't know whether Gen X do, only because it's not a fault on their part, only because they're used to such quick, like TikToks, quick clips. They're like, they can't really, I mean, imagine loading a DVD from when we were younger.
No, it's not going to happen, is it?
It's not happening.
No, it's not happening. But we do have that instant, you know, the generation today, they want it today. And I always go back, and if I look back and I go, well, when I was young, when I'd ordered a taxi, the only way I find out where it was is by looking out the window. And if it wasn't there when they said it was going to be there, I'd ring them up and said, where's the taxi? And that was how it worked, right? Yeah. Now, and I'm as guilty as everyone now, I order an Uber. He's not moved for 30 seconds. I'm like, why is he not moving?
It's stressful.
It said 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He said 4 minutes. He's not moved. What is he doing? You know, he should have been here.
Deliveroo.
It's
when you
the worst.
see them on a bike rather than a car.
And I'm like, oh no, I've got a bike. It's just, and the thing is, we become accustomed to that. We've got used to it because now he's not moving.
Yeah.
He's not moved. He's not getting here when he said he was getting here. And I've become impatient. And the generation today want it today. And they want the gratification. They want the success. And I see it on social media. You know, people go, well, you know, everyone out there is successful and it works. And I bring it back to sport. 0.01% of footballers make it. But everyone thinks everyone makes it.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks they're a footballer and they get the lifestyle and everything works. It doesn't work that way in real life. And I think there is a bit of an unveiling of the this generation where reality is going to have to start kicking in.
Yeah.
With a lot of things going on. Sam, you're reading. So do you do that often? Do you do much of a public speaking and reading?
Yeah, I've done a few readings. I've done a few. I did one a while ago for London Fashion Week. That was for models of diversity, so that was to encourage diversity on the catwalk.
Yeah.
I did one at the Magic Theatre London. That was for the Met Police for Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And what else have I done? I've done all different ones in all different places.
Amazing. That's good. And guys, so tell me, you know, did it always work out how you wanted to? I know you mentioned briefly you did a couple of events and stalls, and you've learnt a lot while you've done these things, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. So
it doesn't always work out how you expect.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it in a way, because of you're learning from everything you've done. You know, every podcast we put out, we've learned. Every event we've kind of put together, we've learned. And that comes down to the planning of it, the actual execution of it, all that sort of stuff. It's just constantly a learning curve in what we're doing.
The other thing is, with your WhatsApp community that you've created, can anyone join from anywhere?
Yeah.
Or is it a regional thing?
No, anyone
can join from anywhere.
We've got people in there that are in Australia. We've had someone that's in there from Greece. Like so it is kind of international like already, so anyone can just opt in. So that's why we get people to share the QR code and stuff, and then they send it to people who they think might be suffering, and so on and so on, and that's how we're getting team members.
So it's quite a good contrast, Lynn, because these guys are helping men that are going through it, and you work with a lot of a younger generation. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think the younger generation seem to have found me.
Right, okay.
So that seems to be where I've found that I belong.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about any age.
So you'd
because
help.
I think, it's not, I help the younger generation, but then they've got parents that are struggling with what's going on.
And that's a very interesting thing. So, I'm sure you've got very anxious, nervous parents that don't know what to do with kids that they're going through this. So
I think a lot of most parents are working full-time jobs.
Yeah.
They lead busy lives. They're trying to keep their families together. And then when a mental health issue arrives and unpacks its bags in your house, it's like the whole house then is shaken up and it explodes. And I think it's really hard to know. There's so much information out there,
Yeah.
but it's hard finding the right information that works for you, because obviously everyone's different and every family is different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think, and then when they see their child, dare I say it, almost demonised and turning into a totally different person that they don't recognise and they don't know how to handle it, it's scary. It fires up loads of different emotions inside you. You're scared for your child and you don't know what to do, but then obviously you've got other siblings in the house as well. It's hard.
So as a parent, what's a classic telltale sign that something's not quite right with your child?
Change in behaviour.
Okay.
I always say no one knows your child like you do, and there's nothing more powerful than a parent's love. And if you think that there is something amiss with your child, teenager, young adult, then you're probably right, and don't leave it.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing you think, what's the first step would you recommend?
Having the courage, and sometimes it is hard because you think, I'll deal with it tomorrow, it will go away.
Yeah.
But most of the time it doesn't, and that is try and talk to that person.
So it's different from a parent's perspective and different from the guys that you come across. And I guess one of the challenges is, how does a guy know he needs help, How far gone are you, or how far, where do you draw the line?
Do you know, it's funny because of a lot of the time you hear people talking about when they hit bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom is different for everyone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think you can be there and surprise, surprise, you go even lower. It's been out. I think there is no catalyst in that sort of change. I think it's just you know when. I think the individual will know, and it's when they either decide to reach out for help, or in some cases they don't. That's what it comes down to, unfortunately.
But it's having that comfort. I mean, look, from a bloke's perspective, and it's having to one thing, having and wanting to reach out.
Yeah.
And there's another thing, having and wanting to reach out in a safe way, and in a way that I feel comfortable in doing.
Yeah.
And that's the key, isn't it? Because it's not something it comes naturally to a bloke.
No,
it's just learning how to regulate your emotions, really, when it comes down to it. Because a lot of men will obviously let it fester inside and build up, don't talk about it, and then boom, they'll explode.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of, you need to learn how to act when you feel that emotion, and that's another thing that we're trying to teach people. As I say, the gratitudes. We've actually got a monk in the group as well who teaches people how to do the meditate and the breathing. Paul the monk, so we've got to shout out Paul. And so we're literally just trying our hardest out here just to try and make a dent in the problem.
Yeah, and it is, but you're making a difference. And like we said before, if it's just one person, it makes a difference. Yeah. And obviously, Lynn, with the support that you're giving various families and young adults, teenagers, and we don't want to talk about the system too much, but clearly there needs to be some change. There needs to be some change in the system.
I think it needs to be brought up. The mental health system, all the other illnesses, cancer, all of the others have revolutionised in their treatment.
Yep.
They've all grown with technology.
Yeah.
The mental health system, a lot of it is still as it was. I mean, I was introduced to it 22 years ago when Sam was obviously starting on her journey of struggling, but she's a lot better now, thankfully. Nothing's changed in those 22 years. Nothing has changed. I mean, someone came in with and I'm not putting the system down. The system is broken because it's not being given. It's overwhelmed with people needing it, and it's really severely underfunded.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a loaded question, but do you feel that demand has gone tenfold? Is it that?
Hugely. And going back to lockdown, I think it's a lot worse since lockdown. And I think in lockdown, they did introduce, obviously, the Zoom calls and Zoom therapy, which can work, but with the young, particularly with the young generation, that again, people need it face to face.
Yeah, you need that human interaction.
You can't. Well, with anyone really, but a lot of and Zoom does work for a lot of people, and a lot of people are very successful and have good success rate. But most of my sessions are face to face in the room, and I think you need human connection.
I agree.
Can I just add to that? Having been on the receiving end and sat on those Zoom calls with as a professional, I found absolutely zero connection with that person. I didn't feel like anything I was getting was beneficial to me, and I actually stopped I had like 8 calls lined up that they had set out for it, and I stopped on like call number 3 because I wasn't taking anything from them. No,
I didn't feel it.
No.
Can I just add in, the people working in the system are doing their best.
Yes,
and they're doing a
100%.
really
Yeah, I
good
think
job.
that's the thing.
But
You see,
they are up against it.
Yeah.
And they only have a certain amount of time. As for all NHS workers, surgeons, everything, that they're allocated, doctors, they're allocated a certain amount of time, and often not, particularly with mental health. Mental health takes time to recover, and every person is different, and a lot of the time it's a tick box.
Yeah, and I think the sooner we help someone who has
Early intervention is key.
Yeah, exactly what I was going
Yeah.
to say. So something, so whether it's a bloke, a child, a teenager, anyone who's going down that road, maybe not sure, the sooner the intervention happens or sooner they seek help in one form or fashion, the better, right?
But often or not, in the mental health journey of accessing help, particularly with eating disorders, you have to meet a certain criteria to actually have help, and often not that criteria. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's too ingrained.
And that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing with the system.
And that's what makes me sad. And it's not the people in the system that they're doing their jobs. I mean, the government or the whoever's above need to invest a serious amount of money, and they need to go down on the ground and talk to people working with people.
Yeah, I think you're right. But that's a topic for another day, I think.
Well, I'm not going to change that.
No.
I'm too old.
Right, we're going to sign off. We've got a couple of minutes before we've got the news. So first of all, thank you, Sam, for coming in and doing the readings. Gents, Russ, Will, thank you very much. And
Thanks
Lynn,
so much.
as always,
Thank you.
it's always a pleasure. So before we sign off and we leave the studio, tell me, what message are we sending to the people out there that are listening and that are going to watch this on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and everywhere else later? What message are we sending?
I think the message for us today is, obviously I've met the guys in person today, which has been amazing. But I think if we all work together, there's so many of us trying to make a difference and help people in all our own different unique ways. And I think if we all try and work together, like how we've come together, Babs had the boys on, I'm in here, Sam's in here, and we, hopefully we've made a bit of a difference today.
Yeah.
So I think if we all work together and we all come together, I just think we could make a change, and we need a change.
Absolutely. And from you guys?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
With what Lynn's saying.
The more of us there are, the louder we are.
Many hands make light
Yeah,
work.
I like that.
Whatever proverbial statement.
Yeah.
No, listen, what you guys are doing is phenomenal. And I applaud what you guys are all doing, and you're helping. And that's the thing, and that's well. There's no hope. So I think you are doing it. I don't think there's hope in there. I think you are putting the work in.
There's always hope.
There's always hope. Yes, I get that, but you're putting the effort in. You're putting the hours, the time, and people may even say that it's a bit of a thankless job that you're doing, but it isn't.
No.
There are people there that are grateful for what you do, and there are people that are standing on the side, and they may not say it to you. And that's one of the things. They may not say you're doing a great job, and they may not say thank you. But trust me, I believe they do mean it. And I think that's important, that you guys keep the momentum going, and also keep positive, because sometimes you need checking on. And that's also important. No, thank you very much for coming. Sam, thank you very much for your readings.
Thank you very much for having me.
And Will and Russ, thank you for coming. And we will have you back on after the summer. I want to know how your walks have gone. So it'd be great to get you back on and again. And Lynn, we're definitely coming back online. We're definitely going to be going and having another chat. And that's our plan. Right, I've got the news, and thank you very much for joining. And this is Drive Time. I'll be back in a few weeks.